So I just saw The Flash, and here's the deal. I didn't hate it. You know, it's a little aggressive to say that I hated the movie, but yeah, that's pretty much the best thing I could say about the movie. I'm not spoiling anything, by the way. You know, everything I'm about to say is common knowledge, so if it's not already spoiled for you, I don't know what to do for you. Here's the deal. When the movie is allowed to take itself seriously, this is when it's at its best. And when it's at its best, it's really good. But then the movie tries to be funny. Like, the humor in this movie is so bad, I am convinced they got Trevor Noah to write the jokes in this film. So, Flash runs back in time, prevents his mother's murder, and completely changes the timeline. Okay? This is DC's Hail Mary attempt to do the Flashpoint storyline, even though they already did it in a much better movie. I'm gonna continue referencing back to Flashpoint Paradox because, honestly, I think it's the god standard of DC movies. I'm not ambitious enough to call it the best DC has to offer, but it's certainly up there. I would definitely rank it among the tops. You know, top 5 at least. You know, The Flash is basically a remake of Flashpoint Paradox, mixed with all the horrible things in Hollywood nowadays. The more I think about this movie, the more upset I get. So let me start off with what is good in this movie. So normally Ezra Miller kind of bugs me. I find him kind of jumpy and annoying for Barry Allen. Now granted, that's generally consistent with Barry Allen's personality, but I don't tend to like Ezra Miller's portrayal because he just is unable to take himself seriously. This film, he actually is allowed to take himself seriously, and credit where credit's due. I do enjoy Ezra Miller in this movie, again, when he's allowed to take himself seriously. And he does do a really good job in this movie. I really like Michael Keaton in this movie. Michael Keaton, obviously, as you've seen from the trailer, returns as Batman. Michael Keaton does a phenomenal job in this movie. You kind of get a sort of renewed appreciation for the Michael Keaton Batman. Again, no spoilers, but Michael Keaton is not the last of the fan service. In fact, it's pretty well heaped on here. I really like Kara Zor-El. You know, they do yet another attempt to portray the Supergirl character, this time wildly different from Supergirl's normal look. You know, also quite different from her actual character, but credit where credit's due, she is very well done here. The thing with the two Barrys, you know, I really thought that would be really annoying, but honestly, it's not that bad. It's actually kind of fun to see the interplay between the two Barrys, you know, Barry having to sort of educate his younger self. And there you go, you know, when this film is allowed to take itself seriously, it shines. It's very good when the movie is allowed to take itself seriously. Here is where things start to fall apart. As I said in the beginning, the problem is the jokes. I don't have a problem with a movie being funny, but I would prefer the movie to be funny. Let me sum up the humor. That's the humor in this movie. Now, I wouldn't mind a little bit of that humor, but it goes on and on. I don't like moments in movies that make me cringe. The attempts at humor in this movie are so grating and annoying that it's in these moments that I'm going, please go back to the good stuff. Basically, think of the worst comedian in your mind. Picture that person writing the humor in this movie. This movie is basically a crappy remake of Flashpoint Paradox. That's what it is. So now, what is this movie? We got Homelander, we got Wu, you know, those are we got Noise, we got Sandwich Guy, we got dog shit. This movie is not dog shit. You know, I'm not harsh enough to put it in the dog shit. I'm thinking about giving it a Sandwich Guy, but that might be a little harsh. But I don't know if it's good enough for a Noise. You know what? I'm gonna give it a Noise.
Nice.
I'm gonna give it a Noise. The humor in this movie is grating and annoying. When this movie is bad, it's bad. But there's no denying that when this movie is at its best, it's at its best. It's really hard to look away from the better parts of this film. The performances hold it up, the action holds it up, you know, even the effects kind of hold it up. I did say it was basically a crappy remake of Flashpoint Paradox, But the thing is, it doesn't strip away all the good elements of Flashpoint Paradox. This movie does have some genuine emotional moments that are hard to watch, and it is very good in that regard. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it a nice, just straight average. Not the best DC has to offer, but also far from the worst.